Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. So at the Lewis Herms event where he's running for governor, I've been talking. I got up on stage and talked. So one of the things that really came through for me was Jesus' death. So Jesus crucified, of course, but who did it? Who did it? And why were all of the apostles, except for one, John was thrown into burning oil and survived, right? And so they sent him to the island of Patmos, where he wrote the what's the one book, the where everything's supposed to go bad. It's like let me think of it. It is the why can't I think of it anyway? So anyway, the other ones were like he wrote the book of God, can't think of it. So Peter was crucified upside down, of course. Peter denied Christ 3 times, remember? As the crow calls out, "You will deny me 3 times." So they were basically tracking down. They wanted to know where Jesus was, where his disciples were. Eventually they would get them all. And it was not good for them. And revelation of Jesus Christ. Yes, thank you, Joe. So revelations, and that's going to be the thing that will be interesting as we go forward, because the revelations are that we have this very evil group that does child sacrifice and that does adrenochrome. So that adrenochrome gives them incredible power. And we can see that power in a lot of these people that are running politics right now. Same stuff. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden gone. Nancy Pelosi probably gone too. Gavin Newsom. He disappeared for 2 weeks, but somebody came back in his place. So a lot of these people I think have been dealt with. But you look at all of the different disciples. They met horrible deaths because they spoke out and they brought truth to the people that would awaken them to the evil and to the people that were promoting that evil. Now, was it the Romans? Of course, the Romans are blamed for it. It is a group of people, and we've talked about them several times. There's a certain cult of Jewish types, the Xerian Mafia types. Basically, they were there in Judea, and they were there in Rome, and the good Jews were highly vaunted, but eventually the lesser and more corrupt and evil Jews would come in. Now, who are these evil types? All right, so many of us have seen them. I have seen them transform into reptilian beings, and I've talked to people at this event who have seen them as well, and have seen them in places that are very disturbing. Of course, for me, I saw them when I was in the CIA, people in leadership positions, CIA, and then I've talked to other people in leadership positions of the CIA that have seen them as well. So these are very evil beings that transform themselves. They go through. There's like a reality like shifts in and out, right? So you can train your eye to catch certain things sometimes, and many of us have been able to do that, and we've caught spirits and demonic realms and so forth. So these are some of the things some of us see. So the reptilian beings that are, had basically taken Jesus's life, and eventually all the disciples, except for John. So, that's what we've seen with a lot of this stuff. Now, the child trafficking is on an epic level at this point, and it's being revealed. It's being shut down. Of course, it's been shut down quite substantially since President Trump came into office. Tom Holman sealing up the border. A lot of people were involved in this disclosing this child trafficking, guys. And that's what Lewis Herms, that's one of his main things for running for governor of California, because California is one of the biggest places where this is happening. All right. So we know that the Hollywood elite, and like I mentioned earlier, the Nancy Pelosi probably got a, remember during the COVID where she opened her $20,000 refrigerator and had like that $30 ice cream. She brought it. This is what we do when we're locked down. Like it's everybody's going, oh, you eat some ice cream. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, a lot of people don't know in that other refrigerator that she had next to it was a lot of adrenochrome, right? So these people get incredible powers from this. I've had someone on my show before that's talked about this, all right? I've talked about adrenochrome experience that is unbelievable, guys. The powers that they have when they do this. That's why a lot of people fear. That's why a person like Peter that was being tracked by these people would deny Jesus, right? That's why eventually everyone that decided, hey, Jesus went down hard. We're gonna push this until we go down, and that's pretty much what happened to all those guys. So it's incredibly dreadful. So while Lewis Herms is on stage, he's been involved in this. He's in documentaries on child trafficking and so forth. That's come through Arizona. Arizona's another really bad place. Of course, the entire United States, the whole world is littered with these horrible beings that do this. Now, do all the people that do adrenochrome, are they all reptilians? No. But even the average person that does adrenochrome from that point on, they're addicted to it more than any kind of heroin. I think I've heard it's like 10 or 100 times more addictive than heroin, which is an extremely addictive drug. So this is what we're seeing with a lot of people. That's why we've seen upwards of 300,000 children that came in through the Biden administration through the border have disappeared pretty much. Now they make all kind of excuses of why these children have disappeared. Now that is not flying with those of us that know what these people are doing. So Lewis Herms got on stage and he talked about some of this. And I got on stage. When I was on stage, I talked about it. I said that, there's from the last, I spoke at Lewis's last event. There were so many people there. This event, there's double the numbers. Later tonight, in another hour or so, there's going to be a debate. So there's going to be other people that are running for California governor. There's quite a few of them. They're going to get on the stage and there's going to be questions asked and there's going to be, they're going to be answering them. So it'll be interesting. Now I say debate, I don't think they're debating against each other. Maybe they are, but I think it's pretty much a question Q&A, but we'll see later on tonight. Now, Lewis, when he got on stage for the event earlier this morning, he talked about how, fentanyl is coming across the border, and that is causing, a lot of deaths in the United States. I've heard from other sources that I think from World War II, all the people that died in World War II don't add up to how many people are, or at least in the United States military, are not even adding up to the number of people that are dying from fentanyl. So fentanyl, remember where fentanyl really came in from. Of course, it's been manufactured down in Mexico now, thanks to the Chinese and in some places here in the United States. Now, this fentanyl is just like the drugs that are coming from China. Now, a lot of people are dependent on drugs, for their health, because the way the medical mafia is, of course, our medical big pharma is the biggest drug mafia in the world here in the United States, and they import everything from China. So imagine if China decided, yeah, it's time for you Americans to die. There's a lot of Americans, if they didn't have some of the drugs that they have for 3 or 4 days, would die, right? So that is something that President Trump is trying to change. He's working really hard to do that. Of course, we're talking a group of very evil, very powerful beings that are putting a lot of pressure on him is administration, me, a lot of other people that put this information out. So it's very tough. There were other speakers that were supposed to be at this event this morning, and one, I guess his car was stolen. He couldn't make it. One blew out an ankle, on and on and on. Lewis's site is being attacked. His website's massively attacked. So obviously, I mean, a lot of you guys are like, well, you're over the target. Yeah, that's cool that we're over the target. But the problem is they take us completely out. Not like a crucified type state, but there's many ways that they take us out. I've almost died a couple of times from, and so have a lot of people in the truth movement, from bioweapons that were specifically targeted, that specifically targeted us, right? And groups of us, like not Lewis Hearns, but Scott McKay, his whole crew, his bodyguard detail, the people that are helping him run his events. He was down for months. I think he didn't even do a show for like 1 or 2 months. His father died. So this is an ongoing war, it's an ongoing battle that we're waging against these extremely evil beings. So Lewis talked about how children are raped because they're not making a lot of money off of fentanyl, the drug trafficking, because the end result is that people are dying from fentanyl on a massive scale. And they want that, but they need to continue the money-making process so they can continue other operations that they're doing, right? Paying off politicians, paying off judges, paying off, corporate executives and so forth. So they, and formerly FBI, I don't know how many FBI are still receiving money, or CIA are still receiving money, but many of them have been shut down as well, but it's still coming through. It's going to take a while to clean all this up. Now, we have tremendous numbers of children that have gone missing, all right? So the last account that I looked at, I'm looking at the Senate Judiciary back in April, January, February, March, April. So April 2nd, bombshell report confirms Chuck Grassley oversight of Biden-Harris admin's failure to protect migrant children. So it's not 300,000 children that came across the border that went missing. There's 500,000, 500,000 children that came across the border. They do have accountability for, some of them, but under the Biden administration is what they're finding out. Unaccompanied alien children through Department of Health and Human Services did not document over 300,000. Now they've come back and they've basically backtracked, and they've gotten, I think at this point, they found 11,000 of the Trump administration has found 11 of the 300,000+. It's not just 300, it's like 322,000. 11,000 of them they have found, and they're in horrific conditions, a lot of them that they don't even talk about. So Lewis Hearns talked about how children are raped anally 30 to 50 times a day, all right? So, let that friggin' sink in. Come on, get off the couch and let's get busy here, right? Get to these events, start to help promote these events. Let's get these people out of office that do not belong there, all right? So, and that's just one thing. That's just one thing. So if we look at Epstein, so Epstein obviously was doing a lot of this transporting children and adrenochrome use, human sacrifice of these children. Now, I've talked about this. A lot of people have talked about this. This is not new for a lot of you, but some people maybe. So if you know somebody that is not even has a clue about this, this will be the video to share. All right. So you have the Lolita Express. Now, a lot of people, like myself included, thought that these jets were flying. 727 Lolita Express was flying to Little St. James. So Jeffrey Epstein, or we should say the Dark Cabal, had Little St. James and I guess another Big St. James or something, James, Biggie, whatever. So James Island. So he had 2 islands, and they've been bought by somebody who's going to turn them into resorts. All right. Who would want to go to a place that had all that stuff? So these are volcanic islands. So in a volcanic island, there's hollow spaces, right? So volcanoes, the lava comes up, it blows out, it goes through tubes and all kind of crazy stuff. And you can come in with submarines, right? So Ghislaine Maxwell had a submarine license. Why do you think that was, right? So they brought in children into the subsurface tunnel systems that go into Little St. James. No airstrip on Little St. James. So all this BS that everybody wants to know, we want to know. So this has been the big thing. We want to know, who was on the manifest of Jeffrey Epstein planes. Well, they didn't land at Little St. James because there's no place to land there, right? A helicopter can land there, and they can take boats, and there's like a dock and everything. But that's it, guys. That's the only way people can get there. And so they're landing in St. Thomas, and then from there, it's just a couple miles. So helicopter ride and so forth. So we need to know who was on the boat rides and the helicopter ride. So if somebody gets a free trip to St. Thomas and hangs out there, hello. Now, when they get to the island, that's where the creepy stuff happens. So I've talked to someone today that was on that island, and she basically said, yeah, she was telling everybody, yeah, I'm like, I have health concerns, cancer, I don't have anything down there, blah, blah, blah. So she's running around gathering information, former CIA. So very, very interesting. So she said that when people would look at her that were there, they had the hungry look, right? The adrenochrome, I want to eat you look, right? So these people are, some of these people there, not all of them, of course, but a lot of these people are very dark people, guys. They're the people that killed Jesus. They're the people that killed pretty much all the disciples. They're people that, were colluding to assassinate President Trump, Charlie Kirk, JFK. It's the same people. It's the same people. And if we can even call them people. All right. So this is some of the stuff that we need to start to look at. All right. So I'll be talking about more of this stuff in the future. I just want to jump on. You guys know I went to Utah, LifeWave headquarters, and had a group out there. Drove out there because I'm not going to get on these planes. All right. And drove back 7 hours both ways. All right. Spent a couple days there. Did some shows there, and then went straight on. Went to sleep, got up, and drove 9 hours down here. So that's why you guys haven't seen me in a couple of days. I know some of you guys are like in the chat, where has Michael gone? So I don't want you guys to worry about me, because some people, when they don't see me, they get really start getting really anxious. So at this point, I'm not like one of the disciples. I'm not going to be taken out that easily, I guess. I don't know, but maybe after I start revealing this stuff. So we have to be very heart-centered, because this is what destroys these people, right? They're evil. This is a war against evil, all right? You need to understand that. And the only way we fight evil is with love and intuition, right? Now, some people are fighting them on the kinetic level, and that's why you've seen people like No More Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, very suspect. Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. Jeffrey Epstein, I said it the day that happened. I said, he's not dead. He's going to reveal, and he has been. So these are some of the things that are happening. Of course, Ghislaine Maxwell's not dead. So she's revealing. I'm sure there's a lot of people are revealing. But when you see people that have revealed and then die, that's an indicator that obviously these reptilian beings have gotten to them, right? So don't be scared of the reptilian beings. I've seen them. I wasn't, maybe I'm different. So for some reason, I was not traumatized by them. It's like, oh, it's a reptilian. How about that? I always wonder why that person acted so strange now. I know. All right. So and then of course, once they realized I recognized them, I didn't work in that area anymore. It's very, very, where everybody is like, please send Mike, please let us have Mike. And then of course, you know, the person that's making the decisions is the reptilian guy. So, so that's why I wouldn't go to some of these places after. And then eventually I didn't go any of those places. And I was walking the Pacific Crest Trail, right, trying to get my life back together. And then here I am now. So God does have a plan for all of us if we open our minds to that, and we can make a very, very significant impact. Love, frequency. Of course, they want us in fear. The adrenochrome gives them a lot of power, guys, and they use that power to, like during COVID, they controlled corporations, they controlled the media, they controlled big farm, they controlled politicians, they controlled it all. There was just a few of us that pushed back, but we made an impact. And since then, we've been pushing back and pushing back and pushing back and destroying destroying everything. So it does make a difference how to push back. But just think about it. 80% of people in the United States and several other places in the world, some places even more, 90, almost 100% of people got vaccinated. They were forced into that. They were like those disciples that, you know, they succumbed. They denied, and they didn't put up a fight. Yeah. Oh, I got to do the vaccination. Well, I guess I got to do the vaccination. So going forward, I think a lot of those people have awakened up, and more people are awakening, and that's what we need. All right, so that's what I got for now. I'll do more shows later. I have another show coming up tomorrow. It's going to be a pretty good show. Leo Zagami is going to talk about the Mamdani. Now, a lot of you guys don't know there is a race that's going on up in Seattle, the Seattle mayor race. Go look at that. So there's another, communist that's about ready to take over, because they're initially the mayor that's there now, like 56 or something, 53% of the vote, whatever it was. And of course, they do mail-in ballots in Seattle because it's very Democrat controlled, very leftist, very reptilian controlled. And they basically have day by day with these mail-in ballots, just like we saw in 2020, that communist is getting closer and closer to taking Seattle, right? So we may see two communists in two major cities, guys, one on each coast. My prediction is that's probably what's going to happen. I predicted that Mamdani would be in there months ago, and there he is. So, and how can I do that? I can do that because there's a lot of apathy out there. You guys aren't standing up. You guys aren't getting involved. I'm at an event right now. There's lots of seats left. You guys just don't care, right? If California loses again, doesn't get somebody like Lewis Herms, or better yet, Lewis Herms in the California governor seat, you better pack up and you better get the hell out of California like I did, right? Okay, guys, lots of love. Stay in love vibration, and I'll see you guys next time.